YouTube, how you doing? Glad to see y'all again. Before we get into really anything, I had a question for you, and I wanted to ask about really the nature of the videos, the demeanor that I talk, the way that I'm formatting it. I want to know what's the most beneficial for you, and what are you really seeking when you click on a video like this. So if you could, maybe in the comments, or if you don't feel comfortable in the comments, maybe a DM or something on one of my other pages. What what is it when you're clicking a page like this or a video that you're looking for? Do you just want free picks? Like, do you just want me to go through picks and why? Or do you want me to kind of go through the steps that I go through, the filters, and make a pick and like see all that I'm going through? Do you just want the insight? Like, do you not want the picks? I'm trying to kind of maybe calibrate and optimize and do what most is beneficial to you. So um, answer that below. I'm curious. I want to know what's going to be the most like attractive and appealing of what's actually like useful for you. So let me know in the comments. Appreciate it. So let's get into it. We got Thursday night football tonight. That's what we're going to be focusing on between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. I'm excited for this. Should be a good game. Thursday night football has felt like good games this year. So before we get into it, let's talk about why I have any privilege of sitting here in front of this screen talking to you about sports betting. It's because I'm not gambling. I'm using some research. I'm using insight, primarily from the Player Prop Shop. Player Prop Shop is amazing. They do daily write-ups. Look at all these props just automatically posted. These will get filtered more and more and more as the sites put out more lines that have value to them. They'll just keep putting them out there. Also use OddsJam and Daily Grind Fantasy. These are more market scanners, I guess is the best way I can put it. Every couple seconds, it scans the market, finds the best value across all the sports books, and will say, here's where our value is for it. Here's a big edge. Go take advantage. So really great tools if you are really looking to elevate your sports betting, I guess, kind of career. Those are top dogs are using that kind of stuff. And you can go vouch for them through Twitter, X, whatever, and see that they're legit. So let's get into picks for today. And if you want all of my free picks sent to you, you can go to my Winnable. I have free picks sent directly to your phone. There's also VIP picks that are a bit more researched, tend to be the plays that I put more units on, stuff like that. So you can get that sent directly to your phone. Link is in my bio for the Winnable. If you want to just watch the video, hang around for a few, and start to see some of that progress, then you want to join in, that's awesome, man. I mean, they're free. So you can join the Winnable and just see the picks. You don't even have to play them. I mean, that's really up to you. So that's all I'm trying to do is help you out. Today, let's just focus on Prizepicks. I might also even dabble with DraftKings Pick 6. This is one that I'm getting intrigued by. I've played on it a little bit before, but want to explore a little bit more with it before I start to advertise it. So I might just kind of mirror the entry I do on Prizepicks over to DraftKings Pick 6, see how it goes. But I'm not going to just fully like promote that one yet. We'll see. Report back. But always going to be using the code DADDY, except for Prizepicks. They haven't given me a code because they're lame. So maybe if this video blows up, they'll help me out. But links on the descriptions. Using that code DADDY. So let's get into I guess how I would go about attacking this slate today. What do we know about these teams? It's a divisional game, should be competitive. It's in Atlanta, so controlled environment. Bucks have been hot. They beat up on a weaker Eagles team, so market-wise, they may be a little overvalued. They've had some good games. They did beat the Lions. Falcons a bit more on the when I think Falcons, I'm kind of thinking slower offense, not like high flying like we maybe thought they would be. But I think they're starting to piece it together a little bit. So something to keep in mind is like, how does the market view them right now? Are they overvalued? Are they undervalued? Because if you're looking at someone that's overvalued, then you can be like, well, maybe we're just getting a lot of hype on Ray Ray right now. I can play the under, regardless of what kind of like the recent stats say. Like Sterling Shepard. I didn't even know he was on the Bucks until like yesterday. He had a hot game against the Phillies. Okay, does that actually mean he should be getting a line 23.5? Maybe not. That's just kind of something that should be going on in your head all the time. Is this someone that's just like a hot player right now, or is this someone who's consistently been a great player for a long time, who we know averages well more than that many yards a game, etc. So that's just something to keep in mind. Completion percentage, that's fun. We haven't had this in a while. These are always just crazy. I usually do like a $5 bet right before the game. I tend to lean unders on these, like the longest rush, the longest whatever, just because the situations. Longest reception, I will say usually certain players I'll go over, but with someone like, honestly, kind of someone like Chris Godwin, here's the dynamic, right? Someone like Mike Evans is usually more of a deep ball threat. Godwin's operating more on the slot. So it's like that's the kind of dichotomy of these players you have to factor in when you're taking bets like that. All right, so let's get to it. Here's my funnel for today. I'm going to go player prop shop. I'm going to go from here to Line Star, and then from Line Star to PFF just to kind of see, does it pass the test of all three? I'm just curious to see. First one up, let's see. Darnell Mooney over 45.5 receiving yards. Value on the sports books around minus 110, so kind of a fair bet. He's been consistently producing. True. The other guys have been inconsistent. Okay. So we're looking for 45.5. Let's go to Line Star. There's my search bar. Mooney. Probably it's popular. That's horse crap. Wonder why they don't have any Darnell Mooney map. That's strange. Wonder if they have him on Underdog. Mooney. Okay, they have him over on Mooney. So let's see. Even though it's like the underdog symbol, I can still see what they're projecting Line Star pick. So they're actually projecting him for 39.5 or 39.40. So they are actually liking the under right there. So doesn't pass the first filter. Let's go see, just kind of for research sake. PFF happens at 42, so still a little bit under. Interesting. Typically, you would see this line be lower on player prop shop, and the other sites would be like, oh, he's going to get 45. This one's 42. Again, we're talking about the difference of a few yards, so that's to wrap your head around like the edges and the value gaps we're trying to take advantage of. It's kind of just like the smallest, slightest of numbers. But this isn't something that I would just immediately be like, yes, I need to take this right now. What some people do is they'll go here and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to take this. But you could also look at this and be like, downward trend. Is are Kirk and London starting to figure it out? Is Ray actually starting to kind of cut into this? So all things to consider. Let's just see what the next one kind of entails. Cade Otton over 3.5 receptions. He has been getting a lot more targets recently. Yep, 8 targets, capitalized with 13 catches over 2 games. Atlanta has allowed the 12th most catches to tight ends. Okay. They've only been averaging 6 targets, but they're allowing the most catches. So not a lot of like dropped catches. So Cade Otton over 3.5 receptions. Let's see what they have here. So Line Star don't have receptions right here. They do have targets over. They have his yards over. Okay, so they're not suspecting he'll have a terrible game. Let's see if Underdog has targets, receptions. No. All good. Let's see PFF for receptions. Cade Otton, they have him right at 3.5 as well. So it's kind of riding that line. Just given his catches and usage lately, I like it. And I like knowing a little bit more about how they're allowing the 12th most catches tight ends. So it's a little bit more to play. He's been someone, this is a case where I think he's actually undervalued right now because the first 2 games of the season, he just didn't play well at all. So I'm going to include that one. Just get us started here. Drake London over 5.5 receptions. I looked earlier. Okay, I saw this as well. Drake London under 64.5. If you saw my Instagram or YouTube or whatever short yesterday, you saw that Buccaneers secondary is actually playing really well. So Drake London actually someone that I would maybe consider playing an under for. But let's see here, since we have under receptions, or sorry, under receiving yards and over receptions. Let's kind of see maybe which one's the better play. Drake London. So Line Star likes his over receiving yards. Drake London's 61, so they actually favor his under. For receptions, they also like the over. Receptions, they also like the over. Okay, so that's a case of I'm just going through my filters, kind of seeing which one's the best. And his line is at 5.5 still, so that's great. You can lock that in before it gets bumped up to 6, where you get some of that push potential. So it's interesting to see kind of how these numbers are just really all so close. It's just such a fine line. Let's see. Maybe we'll mix in one more here. Oh man, my favorite play. I don't know if I can get away from. Oh gosh, both of these timed together. They're correlated. For those who don't know, correlated means one affects the other, right? If Baker's throwing a lot, then Godwin's probably catching a lot. Chris Godwin, among the top wide receivers, ranking seventh or better in targets, receptions, receiving yards. He's just been playing so well. And this is such a testament to him moving back to the slot. It's not being talked about enough, but him moving back to the slot where he thrives, he's like in a Cooper Kupp role almost, where he's just getting all these targets. It's going to just make him productive because of the volume. So let's go see, just to really make sure that they agree. So he's a player where I think Line Star is going to have him overvalued, and I'm inclined to say that PFF will as well. It's actually pretty close. They have him 66, 6 catches. I think that's exactly his line. Yep, 66, 6 catches. That's funny. So Line Star is actually looking at the under. So consensus thinks he's going to go for 6.5. They're thinking 5. So, oh, I should not have clicked that. So they're seeing a big difference here, and I'm wondering if we can click on. Oh, okay. So opponent versus stat, 14 receptions per receiver. So that's good for us. Wide receiver. So there's nothing here that we just absolutely hate. Hit the under 3 of the last 5 games. Okay. I guess, okay, so he's been right at 6. So what's interesting for me is I'm looking at these, they have the 6 receptions as like a loss, but whenever you tie or you push the line, I don't view that as a loss. So that's interesting. I would have him right around this range. What do they have his receiving line at? Receiving yards, 57. Okay. His line isn't 67 anymore. It's down to 66. Although they have a pretty drastic difference there. So that's pretty eye opening. I wonder what they say for Baker, because if Godwin is not producing as much, okay, this is kind of what I thought as well. I thought they would see a lot of unders for Baker. They're not projecting him to go as high. So consensus, they're seeing that a lot of people are maybe overvaluing Baker right now against maybe some lesser defenses in the Eagles. So all interesting stuff that I might just stay away from. Bijan over 24.5 receiving yards. That's another one that I pointed out. He's gotten this number. Bucks have given up the 3rd most targets and 2nd most receiving yards to running backs. Oh, that's a golden stat right there. What's his line's got to be bumped. I guarantee it's not 24.5 anymore. 28.5. It's still, it's still within the range that I'll take it. Let's see. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to take every single grain of salt here. Receiving yards. Okay, they project him for 30. I keep clicking that, and I shouldn't be. Bijan, receiving yards, 25. All right, passes all the tests. I'm going to lock these in. 3 plays. YouTube exclusive. Let's do it. Boom. $5. All right. Appreciate y'all, guys. Let's win some money tonight on Thursday Night Football. If you could leave a comment about that earlier question I had. Otherwise, I appreciate y'all stopping by. If you want to get all my free picks from here on out sent directly to your phone, this is exactly what you'll see. It gets sent to you. And then I even include the link just to make it easier for y'all to copy and paste. And then, yeah, we ride together. We're a community. So We'll do recaps about those picks and everything. So again, if you're using one of these apps for maybe the first time, welcome to sports betting. Run while you can. But if you want to use one of these apps, use code DADDY for a sign-up bonus. It helps me a lot. Would appreciate a like and subscribe. Also helps the page. Would love to do more of these videos for y'all on the daily. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a great day. Let's make some money tonight.